always Irish show. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a 3 a.m. edition of the Always Irish show. I got to tell you, all my years of doing the content and lifelong Notre Dame fan, I've experienced a lot of Notre Dame situations and vibes and feelings. This is one of the most unique dynamics I've ever seen this fan and media base be in ever. Let's get into it. It's super interesting. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps John out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. Notre Dame on SI. Read about it every day of your life. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Link in the description. Oh, it's going to eat up if Notre Dame's in the playoff. Ooh, it's going to heat up over there. So let's get into this. This is a full circle moment. Follow me here. This is going to be a little different. It's 3 a.m. I'm getting loopy. Follow me here. Notre Dame lost the first 2 games of this season due to a combination of a bunch of really weird stuff that all blew up on Notre Dame at once. The first 2 opponents were really, really tough. You're breaking in a new DC. You're breaking in a new quarterback. Like, you're opening on the road against Miami. Like, it was all of that stuff mixed together to be a challenge, and you failed it, and you lost those 2. And it was literally just a combination of a weird batch of events that all ganged up against Notre Dame. You didn't survive the moment, or you didn't rise to the moment, however you want to look at it. Now Notre Dame wins 10 games. That was the mission. Win those 10 games. And I genuinely thought that the post-game show, I figured we were going to beat Stanford. And I was just thinking, man, this post-game show is going to be, everybody's going to be firing on all cylinders. Notre Dame pulled it off. They won those 10 games in a row. Like, what an accomplishment. Like, this is awesome. I thought that would be the vibe, fully the vibe. It isn't quite that. It isn't quite that. And I think it's a full circle moment where a whole bunch of circumstances melded together to make this moment for Notre Dame fans feel a little bit uncertain. And that you're not quite sure what you're supposed to think and feel. Specifically tonight, here's what I think you add. Here's what I think this was. Notre Dame fans were waiting till the last game of the night in that annoying TV window with the bad announcers and super late at night. I think I had 13 games on a note in my iPhone between yesterday and Saturday of who Notre Dame wanted to win and lose or whatever to give us more margin to stay in the playoff and then hopefully move up to a hosting seed, right? I think I had 13 games there. You kept watching as a Notre Dame fan, waiting. Which one of these is going to fall? Which 2 of these are going to fall or whatever? You kept watching, and you kept watching. Another hour of football, another full game. Cross it off the list. Notre Dame didn't get any help. You didn't get any help. You didn't get any help. You ended up going 2 full days with all these ball games, and the only results that didn't go how people thought were against Notre Dame. Like Texas A&M losing. I guess you could argue SMU losing helps Notre Dame in a way because it hurts Miami's case. But like, you didn't get any of that help from the teams right above you, where if one got upset, you could host, and it gives you another buffer below you in the playoff to be safely in. So you didn't get any of that. And people were kind of agitated with the long wait to get to Notre Dame's game, and you didn't get any of that, the big win that would get you in a hosting seat to put you in a good mood. Then you got to wait all night for our game. And then Jeremiah Love gets hurt. I'm convinced, I think Stanford plays dirty. bunch of nerds. I think they played dirty. The first drive, they were twisting Love's ankles. The second drive, he gets the rib thing. I think they played dirty. They're sneaky nerds. I don't like that team. They play a little too dirty for me. You're not good at football. You're not good at football. Go to Silicon Valley, make all your money, leave the football to us. But just because you suck and you're playing for nothing, don't take cheap shots on our guy. So I don't care for that team. I think they play dirty. Dirty nerds. And then Love gets hurt. You're frustrated about that. And then the second half, Notre Dame doesn't play that great. And they kind of come back and the score looks a little better or whatever. And we didn't keep the foot down or weren't able to keep the foot down in the accelerator. So then Notre Dame ends up winning. And you're just sitting there like, what do I do with all this? Because you're glad we won the 10 in a row, but you don't even know if we're in the playoffs yet. So people are like hesitant to celebrate it. And it's kind of frustrating because like I am so proud of this team for winning these 10 games that they had to win and the resolve and the resiliency they showed to come back and win 10 in a row to even get in the position to be at number 9 in the playoff or whatever. I am so proud of that. That is a really good job of coming back. What Ash did with that defense over the course of the year, whatever. I'm so happy about that. But something feels off. And I don't know if it's everybody was tired and it's been a stressful weekend of football that didn't really help Notre Dame. And then this game ended really late. People are kind of agitated. And I think it's rooted in the uncertainty. You wish you felt like if you won this game by 29 or whatever, you would be in. And everybody could go to bed and crash out knowing we're in. And you don't have that. You don't have that. And I think that's the frustration. Now, what I think is really interesting is the chat on the post-game show. The Patreon chat's different because that's really in-house because it's all of our people. The YouTube chat gets a bunch of people from other fan bases and stuff, so it's a bigger sample size around the country and different teams represented. Before the show started, I was thinking, am I overthinking all this? That I feel high-strung in a weird way and not as celebratory as I should feel about this? And I was agitated with all these games. This chat had everything in it, from letting Rick Meyer's bench warming son get that touchdown, cost Notre Dame the playoff, to people saying, congratulations, we won, we're in, relax. Miami's not jumping you, Notre Dame's in, there's no way, relax, we did it, and everything in between. So it's just wild to me. You looked at all through the middle part of the season, just get 10 wins in a row, 10 wins in a row. If you get 10 wins in a row, that's what you need. You get to the end of that yellow brick road, you did it. And people at 3 a.m. are still going to bed kind of on edge. And, there's a big lesson to be learned here. Big lesson to be learned here. I do have to admit this on a personal level. I did not like having to sit there with a cheat sheet and beg for help from these other teams in these other games all weekend. I just felt like I was playing with a hand of cards that I was dealt. It really bothered me in a weird way. I felt like I was in a weak position having to sit there and want all these other teams to win so my team can move up or whatever. It just made me feel weak. I didn't like it. It agitated me all weekend. And then each one of those games, I needed to go a certain way that didn't. My agitation level rose a little bit. But it's a great lesson in you gotta have your own destiny in your own hands. And maybe you get away with it and you end up in this playoff. But if you don't, it's a bitter pill to swallow that you won't get to see Jay Love and Malachi Fields and all the and Price if he's going to go to the league. Then you're not going to get to see these guys in a playoff. I just, but it's a tough lesson to learn here. You got to control your own destiny because look at the stress it's causing everyone involved directly and peripherally. To feel like you got to press in a game where you're winning by 30, it's not enough, and you still got to do all this stuff, and you got a guy in. I don't know if this is a part of the calculation or not. I am sure, even if it's subconscious, a part of the appeal of Notre Dame to this committee isn't just the brand and the playoff credibility they earned last year. Jeremiah Love's a big part of that. Is him coming back out there and taking snaps after the injury to let the committee know, oh, Notre Dame's Heisman guy's not knocked out of the playoff, and then he risks more injury by going and doing that. I don't know. But these are all the problems you run into when you no longer control your own destiny. Tough lesson to learn. Maybe you get away with it and you make it. I've been saying this for a while, all year. Freeman's doing a really good job with this program. It's a high-level program. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in the sauce of the immediacy of the day or the moment or whatever. If you zoom out, Freeman's got this program in a great spot. It's going to get better with the recruiting coming and everything else. But I got to say, he's got to learn how to get through September in better playoff position. So whether that be 2 losses to 2 good teams or 1 loss to Northern, which kind of weighted as 2 losses almost because it was such a bad one at home. The next iteration of the program under Freeman's got to do a better job of getting through September in playoff position, not backs against the wall. That's got to change. It's got to change. Because this is just they accomplished it. They won all 10 games. And still look at the stress and the anxiety and the toxicity around the whole dynamic. Twitter it's almost unbearable right now. Like, I got to limit my time on there, or I'll spend all day arguing with people that are random avatars on the internet about Notre Dame's worthiness to exist in the universe, you know? So we're in a weird spot. And I don't think people are going to be able to relax until the final ranking comes out and Notre Dame's in the playoff. And so I just think you better get ready for another full week of this stress and anxiety and everything. I don't know how it goes away till you see you're in for sure. Even the one that comes out Tuesday, you're still not going to feel safe because you don't have a chance to play again and you have conference championship. What happens if BYU beats Texas Tech? Like, it's just, these are the problems you have when you no longer control your own destiny. And it's our fault. It's Notre Dame's fault, not the committee, not Miami people. It's our fault. Don't lose 2 games. So I don't know. It all just feels weird. And it's the uncertainty is the elixir that's mixing this drink. And it's just a very weird spot to be. But a really good lesson in control your own stuff so you're not sitting around on edge and it doesn't have to be like this. Because look at the anxiety and the stress and the risk you take by winning by a lot and feeling like you got to have first stringers in there, or Love's banged up, but you feel obligated to get him back out there. I don't know if that's the case or not. Maybe it isn't. But that's an angle on this, showing them that he's still intact and all this. I don't know. So I'm really, really proud of this team. They got 10 wins in a row. They had to have. That's really impressive. 2 years in a row, they've gone on these mega winning streaks to try and get in the playoff. Really good job. And you hope they're rewarded with the playoff bid. 49-20, and half the people in the chat acted like it was, 14-17. So I don't know, man. Maybe this is one of those deals where if you're in the Notre Dame world 24/7, 365, maybe we are just so worked up about Notre Dame that maybe we are harder on them than anybody else is. You know, the way like you're hard on your family, but you wouldn't want anybody else to say something bad about your family, but you will, right? Like maybe we're harder on them than everybody else on how we're grading this of how many multiple score wins are enough. I don't know. But we're about to find out in about a week from now, a week and a few hours from what it is now, Sunday morning. Next Sunday, we'll find out. So, very taxing football weekend. I think you kind of think, oh, all these great games, I'm going to relax and watch them. But when everyone you wanted to go a certain way went against you, it wasn't that relaxing anymore. Then you had to wait all night for the Notre Dame game. Then the love thing happened. And then Myers' kid. Ugh. And then you end up stressed out after the end of it, not knowing whether you're happy or mad or sad or glad. So I don't know. Good job to this team. They put themselves in position. They did the best they could after the nightmare start. And now we wait and see if it's good enough. And if it is, you better seize the chance, get healthy, go make another playoff run. I'm going to end on this. If Miami gets you from behind, if BYU wins and you're booted because now two awesome Big 12 teams are in, if you don't make it, this offseason for Notre Dame needs to be one built on frustration and anger. And they need to channel that to make sure they never end up in the position they're in again like this. So if they miss it, you need to turn that negativity into fuel for a deep run next year. Okay? So hopefully they make it. And we don't have to go down that path. It's going to be a long, frustrating offseason. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks to everybody on the post-game show. We had really good numbers for 2 a.m. or whatever. Like, we did really good. Thanks to everybody for staying up with me. Hopefully I'm not getting loopy and this makes sense. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on Patreon.